Midnight tonight, motorists are going to start feeling the real pinch at the pump as petrol prices are set to soar. You can expect petrol to increase by 82 cents a litre, diesel goes up by 85 cents. And unsurprisingly, many of us are none too pleased about it. So we've sent our reporter Nickolaus Bauer today to gauge consumer reaction, because inevitably this is going to affect our pockets. And Nickolaus, good afternoon to you again. When I last spoke to you, you were on a taxi between Randburg and the CBD. I'm assuming that you're on your way home. What have commuters been telling you?
Well, yes, good afternoon to you, Jeremy. We're now in the Johannesburg CBD, and we've got one commuter that's been kind enough to stay behind. We've now reached the end of our journey, and we're at the centre of Johannesburg, Lungi. Thank you so much for chatting to us on E. How do you feel about the taxi prices possibly going up due to this fuel price increase?
It doesn't feel right, because as for us, like the people that are working at the restaurant and they're getting paid low, that means going up of the petrol, the food will go up as well, and the taxes will go up as well. So we're going to suffer school fees and a lot of things. It doesn't feel all right.
Realistically speaking, though, I mean, what are your options? At the end of the day, for a lot of the working poor, as you've just described now, their only option is public transport. And if they live or work far away from bus routes, taxis are the only option.
Taxis are the only option, but as well as train, because as for me, I'm working from Randburg to Springs. I'm using a train, and the trains are, as everybody knows, they are not safe, and the taxis are so expensive. I'm using 100 Rand per day.
100 Rand a day for taxis?
For taxis.
And if you're spending 100 Rand a day on transport, I mean, how much does that leave you with after a day's work?
I'm left with nothing. It's just going from pocket to mouth. It's like I'm not working, because I've got 2 kids to support, going to school, stuff like that. But spending money to transport, that's all I'm working for, transport.
Well, there we go. A tough pill to swallow, this fuel price increase. Over 80 cents it's going up, and Jeremy, this taxi is empty now, but we will be filling up on the way back to Randburg now, and it's been much the same every single commuter that we have spoken to, Jeremy. It's a case of being stuck between a rock and a hard place, really. What do you do in a situation where your only option is to use public transport, and when the petrol price does increase? Well, the only option in order for public transport providers like taxis or even metro bus services or city bus services to stay in business is to increase and increase their margins a little bit more based on the input into their business of fuel. I should only imagine that we are only going to feel the full effects of this petrol increase as time goes on, and we may only feel the full effects in the weeks and the months to come as this fuel price increase feeds into other things like food prices. But we're now rocketing along. I'm not too sure what street this is, but we're heading out of the CBD into Hillbrow itself. We're going to see whether or not Joe Komani, the expert cameraman, will be able to show us there. So we've still got you connected on the line there, Jeremy, and we will be bringing you more live from the various transport routes feeding from inner city Johannesburg into eNCA's headquarters in Hyde Park, just outside of Randburg.
All right, Nicholas, great reporting, and we will return to you a little bit later as we continue to stay on that shot of Nickolaus in the taxi. Just a reminder, the countdown clock is on your screen at the moment. Midnight tonight, we expect queues to start forming at petrol stations from around 4:30 this afternoon. The price of petrol increases by 82 cents a litre, and if you drive a diesel-powered vehicle, it's even worse news. It's up by 85 cents a litre.